Dr. Lisa. I just wanted to make a quick video, well, as quick as I can make it, which usually isn't very quick, explaining a little bit more in depth. So the first link I sent kind of went over the transcribe portion, and as you can tell, we've redesigned the, the main site. But we'll jump right into Ever. So like this seems to be what catches the therapists or clinicians' attention the most. They seem to enjoy this part. However, based on our calculations, the transcriber combined with Ever, the transcriber saves more time, but apparently they love being able to use Ever as sort of a research assistant, and her knowledge base is limited specifically to mental health related things. And I didn't just pull them at random, so she's not going to be taking things from blogs. Like I said in my original email, my co-founder and I both are married to. I'm married to a marriage and family therapist. He's married to a psychologist. And he happens to be my best friend. And so I made a basic version of Ever for my wife about a year ago to solve her backlog. And anyway, so that's sort of how it caught on. So all of the knowledge base that Ever is limited to came from my buddy's wife, who runs a practice in Boise. So it's your basic stuff plus some scholarly journals like DSM-5, and I can't for the life of me remember what the nurse practitioners use, the ICD-10, ICP-10, something like that. But anyway, this kind of what its intended uses. So let's say, couple today experiencing, communication issues. The wife says she stops working after the firstborn child, which is causing financial stress. According to the husband, let's see. Examples of I don't know, something along these lines. My wife is, like I said, marriage and family. She deals with couples, so this is kind of this is the kind of stuff I hear. So let's see, communication. So this is kind of basic, right? Timeouts, yeah, fair fighting rules. It's good to know. Example dialogue. Okay, I would imagine that would be useful. And that might be internship level stuff, but it also cites its resources, as you can see. And then I want to point out here at the top, if you like the response, good response, bad response, if it's a perfect response and you want to use it, say you're a clinical supervisor and you want to give it as an example, you can copy it. We can give it something more difficult too. Let's see, patient presents depression-like symptoms, such as can't get out of bed in the morning and has no motivation at work, but does have bursts of hypermotivation on Luckily, I have Grammarly, so I can make sure I don't sound like a complete moron. I swear I'm not illiterate. I'm just making this up as I go. So it's a hack motivation on unrelated tasks. Sure. Oops. Okay. You don't actually need to do this. I'm just kind of a stickler for it. So that's why I got Grammarly to correct me. It understands whether or not you type certain things in a certain way. So it doesn't really matter. So let's see. It sounds like your patient may be experiencing mood disorder, major depressive, bipolar. So yeah, I don't know. According to the DSM-5, so that's where she took this knowledge. It gives bipolar 2. Okay. Sorry. So I have no idea. That's a new one to me. If you wonder what that is, patient healthcare question. My buddy's wife, co-founder's wife, said that one thing to consider is the amount of screeners that therapists and psychologists have to deal with, and that's sort of why we started expanding into the transcription and adding these assessment tools, so you can have just one place to go as a knowledge base. Hence the name Therapedia for the company, and then Ever is the assistant. So it by default will do SOAP notes. You can tailor this to however you do your notes. I know every practice is different, so that's the basic functionality. You can even say design and let's see, design and quantify treatment plan. So I'm not sure if quantifying is big in your role, but for what I do as a developer, it's big for me to be able to quantify results. So it gives you an outline, something to work with. So I would challenge you to ask it anything you want. My wife and my buddy's wife and their colleagues, they tried to break it with ethical dilemmas and all sorts of stuff. As you can see, if you checked out our Facebook page, in that first link, there was a screenshot. I blocked out their names, but of the nurse practitioner that tried it for the first time and said that it had come up with ideas that she hadn't thought of before. So, and that's kind of the goal. The mission of the company is to save you time. That's all it is, and we'll keep iterating. And the product map here is to combine Ever with the Transcriber, and then we are in talks with some of the bigger EHRs out there, or EMRs, like Theranos, Theranest. There's a handful of the bigger ones that smaller practices seem to use. So we'll pick the best one that seems to have the most competent development team, and we'll create an integration there. So the idea is that you can start a transcription, stop it, and then from there, Ever can take those notes for you and put it directly into your EHR. And of course, it's always going to be up to the clinician, since you hold the license to read and verify. But based on our calculations over the last year, it saves anywhere from 40 to 300 hours of time, depending on how many notes you take. So like if you're a therapist, marriage and family therapist, 40 to 80 hours a year. And then a psychiatric nurse practitioner, we're told it could save up to 300 hours of time per year. So quite significant, we think. So hopefully that is a pretty good explanation of what this part specifically does, and what our goals and missions are with the company. I know you said you went with, I think it was berries. I would love any feedback as a founder. It's invaluable to me. Like, just it's worth more than you can imagine to get positive and negative feedback on what you like and dislike about this product, or and if you'd be willing to tell me what you like and dislike about the one you went with, and so I can just iterate and improve and make it better, because the overall mission is to just help therapists save time. We want to help you do things that you want to do, whether that's work on your patients or work on yourself or take some time off, go to Cabo, whatever, save you time. That's the goal. So looking forward to any feedback you have. Thanks for taking the time to respond to my email.